I just watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and here's my spoiler-free and spoiler-filled thoughts on it. Here are the timestamps for both. Disclaimer, I'm not some certified critic or anything, just a humble Mario fan and enjoyer. If you haven't watched it, and are both a Mario fan and like the first movie, you should go watch it. I don't believe you'll be disappointed. Now let's start with the good. The animation is beautiful. Maybe not the very best of the best, but still very appealing nonetheless. The movie is bright and colorful, and the environments that our cast find themselves in are intricately detailed and wonderful, especially with the background characters, who often have their own little moments on the side. The music selection has improved greatly. Gone are the out-of-place pop songs. There's only originally composed music. The action is very well choreographed, and the moves are creative, and it's a joy to watch. References. Like the first movie, if you enjoyed them before, there's even more here, which I also happen to love. Not simply for the sake of them being there, but I also believe it fleshes out the world, or in this case Galaxy, to know that it's very lived in. Also, Super Mario Bros. 2 representation and the Big 26 is just perfection. For characterization, the main highlight is definitely Bowser Jr. He is menacingly competent and fearsome, but also filled with so much wonder and pride for his idol and father, Bowser. Their relationship is the sweetest, most wholesome thing put to screen, and I love it so much. The design for the power-ups, some of the enemies, and Bowser Jr. is impeccable. I loved Jr. using paint as his powers. He got really creative with them in some of the moments, and the power-up selection for the rest of the cast was pretty good. Unfortunately, there are two major downsides. The most jarring one is definitely the pacing. It started out fine, then turned into a race to the end. I wouldn't have minded the movie being a tad bit longer. It's almost like they had a list of what they wanted to include in the movie and they were rushing to check them off because the movie was ending. The characterization for the other characters could also have been fleshed out a bit more. Specifically, there's an issue of sidelining, but for the sake of no spoilers, I'll save them for the spoiler section. The story was fine, I suppose. Perhaps a few cliches here and there and a few plot conveniences, but it can be overlooked. It does feel like the first one was more of a love letter to the entire franchise, but this one does feel a bit narrower in scope, even with all the references that they try to jam in. Overall, I do still think that the movie is worth a watch if you're a Mario fan, but don't expect some magnum opus movie. Some movies are just made to have fun, and that's completely fine with me. Alright, I'll be moving on to the spoiler section now. So only proceed if you've already seen the movie. If not, this is your last warning to click off in 3, 2, 1. I'll be mostly fleshing out the negatives a little bit more, but don't worry, it's not a terrible movie. It's just because I couldn't in the spoiler review section. So let's go over music again. Thank God they didn't reuse the out-of-place pop songs again, except for when Yoshi was in Brooklyn, but that was okay. I think it was done pretty well for the most part, as in, if we're going to a different place, the music did change the match. My tiny gripe with it is that for the Galaxy scenes, it really felt like they were simply using the main popular themes over and over again. You know which ones I'm talking about. I might be completely wrong about this, so do let me know. But I swear they used Comet Observatory, Egg Planet, and Gusty Garden more than a couple of times. Yes, these are the backbones and most associated and popular songs of Mario Galaxy. I just hoped for a little bit more variety. I don't even believe we heard the Honey Hive Galaxy for the B scene either. Again, I might be wrong. I was hoping for a few more Galaxy tracks. Maybe they would feel out of place, so that's why they didn't include them, so I guess it's fine. Again, it's just a minor complaint. Especially when they were showing us Planet Bowser. Why didn't they put World Bowser's theme? I mean, does it not look exactly like World Bowser? Absolutely unwatchable movie. The designs for Fury Jr., Dry Bowser, the Ruined Dragon, Wart Mouser, and a Claw Grip, and the rest of the cast are also so good. The power-ups used were also a great selection. We'd love to see Red Star representation. Mario and Luigi used the Cloud Flowers and Drill Mushroom creatively. It was a good scene. The references were mostly fine. It's like, wow, look at those Piantas. Wow, look at those Whittles. Great for world building. On the fact of world building, making Peach and Rosalina sisters was quite a nice twist. I did like that. I like that they made the Gateway Galaxy a transportation hub, but also that Monkey should have been the chimp. Absolutely unwatchable movie. In all seriousness, this also ties in with the pacing issues, by the way. There were so many references in it. Some of them were quite like the T-Rex. Sure, it's from Odyssey. But what did that scene accomplish exactly? They just had to get the babies back. It didn't help them fix their ship or anything. It felt quite unnecessary. I felt like they could have used that time to flesh out the rest of the movie. They could still put the babies in peril, but maybe it's on their way to some part that they need to fix the ship or something. On to characterization, and oh boy, do I have a lot to say about each of them. Fox was a cool addition. I like that they didn't set up some jealousy, rivalry thing between him and Mario. He's just a chill guy. Game & Watch, on the other hand, kind of felt like a plot convenience. Like, Luigi and Mario didn't expect him to hit so hard. Like, what were they going to do if it didn't work? Mario and Luigi are alright, I guess. Mario's reluctant to trust Bowser, wants to ask Peach out, sure. But he and Luigi maintain kind of the same personality from start to finish. I guess I did like the fact that Mario saves Bowser Jr., so they both get a pass. But man, Chris Pratt does not sound like he's trying in this movie. Everyone else is pulling their weight, come on man. Princess Peach is again mostly fine. She's a girl boss again, which is a delight to watch. Except for the casino scene. It's just very unbelievable that she took out all those ninjas, Wart, Mouser, Birdo, and Claw Grip all by herself. In doing so, she really sidelined Toad, who is also there by the way, with a penguin suit. I don't know man, she kinda girl bossed too close to the sun on that one. What I would have done is let her hold off fine until the scene where they all jump on her from every direction on the roulette. Then she fails her umbrella swipe, gets overwhelmed, and then Toad notices and uses his penguin ice powers to save her. So both characters get their time to shine. Unfortunately, it did take away from Toad, who I feel has been sidelined mostly in this movie by Yoshi, who I'll get to later. Sure, he has the dinosaur scene and a little screen time in the casino scene, but other than that, what does he do exactly? He gets his backpack stolen by not the chimp, I guess, which leads them to the casino. But I really wanted him to become Captain Toad or something in this movie. Maybe even have his own little Toad brigade. Like in the final act on Planet Bowser, he's just not there. Like, he just didn't jump off onto the planet with the rest, I guess. Newcomer Yoshi is also problematic. He's fun to have around, but what exactly does he add to the story? I mean, really. Remove him from the story and basically nothing changes. Mario and Luigi can't outrun the falling castle, I suppose. Or maybe Bowser and Jr. don't get distracted with his blimp fruit form, so they can't win. That's another gripe I have, by the way. Both villains had victory within their grasp, but they kept getting distracted by the dumbest things. And this happened multiple times. During the initial fight, Jr. gets distracted when Kamek bursts in with Mega Leg, and in the final fight, they both get distracted by Yoshi. I'll let it pass because villains in kids' movies always do this, but it's still quite strange because Jr. is otherwise a ruthless fighter. And Bowser, well, he's also a problem. They were trying to do this whole redemption arc thing with him in the first half, and then full on villain again in the second half because Jr. convinced him. It was way too sudden and jarring, and I don't think it worked. They either needed to commit to him being good or evil, or him being nice, but faking it just to get back to Jr. The Lumas are a bit iffy for me, not too sure why. Maybe I'm just not used to them having a voice and being those cute little floating stars instead of rowdy, hyperactive children. Rosalina, on the other hand, completely wasted. One action scene at the start, then caged for the rest of the movie as a damsel in distress. Definitely not it. She needed to be more involved. Here's what I would have done. She could still lose to Mega Leg at the start of the movie, but Junior isn't interested in her, but the Lumas, because Lumas can turn into stars and grand stars. Then the whole thing about using them to power his Death Star cannon can still be used. But there are now stakes for Rosalina, and she needs help because she's either weakened or she realizes she can't take on Bowser Jr.'s army alone. And bam! We get more Rosalina in the goddamn Super Mario Galaxy movie. You could even still use the hand-touching thing with Peach to break the cage the Lumas are kept in. Overall, I would have cut Yoshi on the film. It just didn't do him justice. Paying Donald Glover to say Yoshi over and over again probably tanked their budget. Just saying. Give Toad more to do, Bowser shouldn't have a redemption arc, at least not in this movie. Rosalina and the Lumas should have switched places, maybe not all the Lumas. Peach could girl boss a little less hard in the casino, the Swindler Monkey should have just been the chimp, and play the World Bowser music during Planet Bowser's introduction. Those are just my opinions and thoughts. I hope you enjoyed, and be sure to share yours down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one.